The Swiss First Class Lounge is the world's best first class lounge. Better than Air France La Première, better than Singapore Airlines Private Room, better than Lufthansa First Class Terminal, and yes, it's possible to access this lounge without paying for Swiss First Class flight. Let me explain. I know most aviation bloggers rave about the Air France La Première lounge in Paris. I mean, it's undeniably impressive, but you know what? My heart belongs to the Swiss First Class Lounge in Zurich. I've been to 7 out of the top 10 lounges of 2023, and I will say that the Swiss First Class Lounge is my number one. The only way to get access to this lounge is to book a first class ticket on Swiss Air, which could cost anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000. But if you are like me and you thrive on award travel, you're in for a disappointment because Swiss Air's first class ticket is almost impossible to book only by using points. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to strategically book a first class ticket to enjoy everything this Swiss First Class Lounge has to offer without breaking the bank. I'm also going to touch upon all the fine print rules that will allow or deny entry to this lounge. And once you gain entry, I'm going to tell you how to make the most of it. Let's start with the basics. Lufthansa Group of airlines include Lufthansa, Swiss Air, Austrian, Brussels Airlines, and Eurowings. Out of these, only Lufthansa and Swiss Air offer first class. In contrast to US airlines, European carriers offer a significant distinction between their business and first class services. To uphold this objective, the group provides first class lounges exclusively for both Swiss and Lufthansa first class passengers in Frankfurt, Munich, Zurich, and Geneva airports. These are super exclusive lounges, and you cannot access them by traveling first class on any other Star Alliance carrier other than Lufthansa or Swiss Air. To get access to the Swiss First Class Lounge, you have to fly either Swiss or Lufthansa First Class. Booking Swiss First Class using points is not an option. Lucky for us, it's easy to book Lufthansa First Class using points. Lufthansa releases first class award seats to its Star Alliance partners from Frankfurt and Munich to major US cities about 2 weeks before travel. You can book these first class flights for about 90 to 100,000 Air Canada Aeroplan points or 87,000 Avianca Life Miles. Now, instead of booking these flights from Frankfurt to Chicago, try to book them from Zurich to Chicago with a layover in Frankfurt. The first flight from Zurich to Frankfurt will be in business class, and even though you're flying out of Zurich in business class, you will still have access to the first class lounge in Zurich. There are a few caveats and things to keep in mind though. The entire booking has to be booked in a single ticket as first class. In the itinerary above, you're traveling from Zurich to Frankfurt in business class and Frankfurt to Chicago in first class. When you're booking this itinerary, you have to book this as a single trip by entering your origin as Zurich and your destination as Chicago. Now, this will generate a single ticket that will be coded as first class even though the first leg is going to be in business class. If you book them separately as 2 tickets, one business class ticket from Zurich to Frankfurt and another first class ticket from Frankfurt to Chicago, you will not get first class lounge access in Zurich. The airline just looks at you as a business class traveler from Zurich to Frankfurt and will give you access to their business class lounge but not to the first class lounge. The first leg that you booked from Zurich to Frankfurt is called your feeder flight. Now, this feeder flight has to be on the same day as your first class flight. Let's say you're traveling on the 20th of December. Your first flight, that is the feeder flight from Zurich to Frankfurt, is on the 20th at 8 p.m. Your next flight from Frankfurt to Chicago is on the next day, 21st December at 10:30 a.m. Now, you will not have first class lounge access in Zurich on the 20th December because technically your first class flight is on the next day. The only exception would be if the feeder to the first class flight cannot be booked on the same day and the previous day is the last connection. Keep this in mind because they enforce this rule. Now you've booked your flights and you have access to this lounge. Let's see how to maximize your time at this lounge. In order to do this, I'm gonna talk about the Zurich airport layout first. Zurich airport has 3 terminals. Terminal A, which has gates A, Terminal B, which has gates B and D, and Terminal E, which has gates E. Terminals A and B are in the same building, whereas Terminal E is detached from the main building and can be reached via a tram or an airport train. There are two Swiss first class lounges, one in Terminal A and the other one in Terminal E. Usually, Schengen flights arrive and depart from Terminal A and international flights arrive and depart from Terminal E. In our example, since we're flying from Zurich to Frankfurt, our flight will leave from the A gates, which means we will be able to access the first class lounge in Terminal A. Even though your flight to Frankfurt departs from the A gates, you can ask at the lounge concierge to put you on a shuttle to the E gates, which they'll do if you have enough time. Keep in mind, you have to go through passport control and then you will be driven in a van to the E gates. But when you return, you have to take a train to get back to Terminal A and then go through passport control again. So give yourself enough time and make sure you arrive 3 to 4 hours before your departure time to take advantage of everything that the E gate has to offer. The two first-class lounges are technically supposed to be identical in terms of amenities like food and alcohol, but the E-Gate lounge clearly has an edge because of its stunning panoramic view of the Alps, outdoor terrace, private bedrooms with a runway view. The moment you arrive at the E-Gate, try to reserve one of the bedrooms. Since there's only two, there's a good chance you'll be put on a wait list, but trust me, it's totally worth it even if you can spend 30 minutes there. The bed is a $40,000 Hastings bed and the views from the bedroom are amazing. Head to the outdoor terrace if it's open. Unfortunately, the day that I was there, it was raining and the terrace was closed. You can spend hours and hours watching planes take off from that amazing place. The lounge also has a full bar, a conference room, plenty of indoor seating, and an amazing 5-star a la carte restaurant. There's also a wine humidor, which apparently has over 1,000 bottles from all over the world. A good first-class lounge should have Michelin star level a la carte food, top shelf alcohol, tasteful interiors with A-class seating, exceptional service by staff, plane watching area with runway and tarmac views. In my opinion, the Swiss first-class lounge is perfect in covering all of the above, and that's why I feel this lounge is better than the Air France La Première lounge, which does not have a runway view. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and hit the like button if you like this video. Also hit the notification button if you want to be notified when I post any more new videos.